What's happening, folks? It's Twitter reaction to Celtic 0, Leipzig 2 here in the Champions League at Celtic Park tonight. I've got Stuart with me. We're going to run through some of your replies from Twitter. We'll start with Mikola. Exasperated and depressed. We are creating excellent chances, but missing them to an extent that almost defies belief. We could have won that match, or at the very least drew it, but we just couldn't finish. Not half chances, but clear goal-scoring opportunities. Stuart, I was saying to the guys in the full-time reaction as well, I think you can look at all of these games individually and go, well, only if we took our chances, we just weren't clinical enough, we just didn't punish the mistakes. But I think when that happens, game after game, there's something a wee bit deeper there. And I think we've seen again tonight that the team just lacks a bit of conviction at this level in terms of taking chances.
I think you're right. I did say to my mate earlier on, we were having a discussion and we said basically all football can be boiled down to you have to keep it tight at the bye, you have to take your chances if you're doing any analysis of any game. But I think you're right. I think it's as much a mental hurdle for these players trying to transfer, even when we're playing well domestically, which we're not at the moment.
Exactly.
Transferring what we do domestically to this stage takes quite a leap for the players, and it's quite a hard thing to do. And I mean, I think we've seen in the group now that we are a work in progress at Champions League level.
Absolutely.
I think that's safe to say. And like tonight feels like it's like the kind of, I mean, this is like the air getting let out of the ball for me. It's like I kind of feel tonight's the night where the chances now feel like you're really, really up against it, and you'll be lucky to claw third, let alone try and get through. So it's disappointing. But it's a mental thing, mate. It seems like a mental thing more than just because obviously we've got Giakoumakis and Kyogo who are very good finishers. You saw with Jota the way he took his goal in Leipzig. Like, we have players that can finish chances. But it's a mental. There's a mental barrier at the moment, I think, when trying to get up to this level.
Do you think that's natural, given the fact that most of these players have never ever played Champions League football? This team collectively have never played it together. It's their first real exposure to this level. Is it really realistic to expect that even if we replicate these same performances in an alternate universe, but take the chances, we could be sitting in 7 or 9 points? That's just unrealistic, surely. And this team's first venture in the Champions League, surely.
Maybe.
And I don't mean to like excuse.
No, I know
any of it, but there's surely got to be a natural development there. That when you're first exposed to this level, you're not going to be there.
Sometimes, but some teams, like, it's a bit sort of left field, but like Brentford go up into the Premier League and it's like the excitement of the stage suited them. And I know that's a league season, it's not just condensed into 6 games, but sometimes teams can make that step up and it's like they feel at home in the stage, and it's almost like, so you think if you want a Celtic parallel, like John Kennedy and David Marshall in Barcelona, they were asked to step in, and that was individual players rather than a whole team, but they stepped up to the level and it was almost like their lack of fear worked in their favour.
And a team of seasoned professionals at European level. But
I think, like, with this team, I think what it comes down to is a lot of football is about momentum, right? And Celtic had momentum domestically at the start of this group campaign. And we had a game against Real Madrid where we score the first goal. I don't think we lose that game. We had a game against Shakhtar, which was our best ever performance away from home in the Champions League, but we didn't take our chances against Real Madrid. We didn't take our chances against Shakhtar. We got done by a much better team, and we're lucky not to get humped by Leipzig in Germany. And tonight was just so deflating, and I think Leipzig were very, very, very clever. It's not the same team that got like shellacked by Shakhtar at the start of the group. Marco Rosa's got them playing much better football, and I think tactically they were very intelligent, because what they did is, like, as soon as we had that early chance with Maeda, like, they just then... But Celtic didn't press with enough intensity. That was what really annoyed me.
I thought they got out too easy. See, without the ball, Haksabanovic was up beside Kyogo, which meant I thought we were a bit light in midfield and they were just getting out dead easy.
I think the midfield was right. I think if you're going to play Haksabanovic, you've got to play either Hatate in the deeper role, or if you're going to let Hatate have the attacking freedom and the freedom to be the midfield creator that he is, then I think you've got to drop O'Reilly and you've got to play a more defensive-minded player in that system if Callum McGregor's unavailable. And I think that's one of the things that went wrong tonight. But in terms of the actual mental side of it, it's like if the Shakhtar and the Real Madrid games, if you take the chances in those games, then you've got momentum in the group. But we don't have momentum. We don't get momentum at the start of the group, and then Leipzig give us a showing up last week, and then, I mean, I think on the balance of play tonight, we could have squeaked a draw, but I think the better team probably did win.
Aye.
I know that sounds like a contradiction.
No, I agree. Moving on, Kathleen Malloy. We'll need to be quick here because it's starting to rain. It felt like the writing was on the wall early doors. Nothing was going to work. Plenty of chances yet again. Feel for the fans. They were incredible. I felt in the stadium tonight there was a little bit of resignation almost in the atmosphere. It was brilliant before the game. And then obviously the minute silence sort of throws the intensity and the excitement. But then after that I did think there was like really tempered expectations, and I said the players didn't believe that they could score. I felt like the fans didn't really believe we were going to get anything tonight at some stages.
I think that's a fair comment. I think tonight it was Leipzig were really, really clever, as I say, because what they did, as soon as we had that early chance, they just played through our press. But it was almost like the players didn't believe in the intensity of the press. They did that thing where they closed up to within 2-3 yards of them and then stood off the final bit rather than gone. And actually, we've seen Kyogo injuries sell 2 or 3 times as a Celtic player by being intense in the press and making sure he gets his foot in the ball. And he didn't do that tonight. And
once or twice in the first half, he blocked some kicks up the pitch for the goalkeeper. No,
a wee bit, but not enough. And like Celtic generally, I think were too happy to tuck in and try and play that kind of European chess match style stuff. Whereas I think tonight was a night that demanded up and at them. And I don't think we delivered that, because the thing is, it's a dual purpose thing. The crowd have got to lift the team a bit, but tonight that team should have got the crowd right behind them, and they didn't do that. And they've got it in them to do it.
As both ways. Aidan Brannigan, chances been squandered again. We are no doubt competing by the chances we create, but just need to be more clinical. Celtic are given as much as they possibly can and just need to get on the end of these chances. The difference at this level is that the elite pull through and win. And Stuart, you knew as the game went on, it got a wee bit end to end in that second half, and you just knew that was not going to suit us, because if Leipzig got chances in the latter period of the game, they were going to take them, and they did that through Werner and Forsberg.
They did, and you've got to look at their front four, and it's absolutely it's packed full of class. Szoboszlai, Werner and Kunku and Silva are all really, really good players. Silva probably the runt of the litter, and the other 3 are.
He bagged 2 goals last week.
Exactly. So, we're up against a really good team, but tonight, what really disappointed me tonight is our biggest strength, albeit Callum McGregor's obviously missing, which is a massive thing, right? But our biggest strength is the midfield, and the way that the midfield was constructed tonight wasn't giving us the platform to win the game. And I think that's where it went wrong. Obviously, the missed chances you can point to, but tonight showed the gulf to a Leipzig class. You're talking about elite. Elite's Real Madrid. Elite's like the very best
this
teams
is the
in Europe.
rung below the elite.
This is the rung below the elite, and we're a rung below that.
Aye, absolutely. We'll finish with GG Cullen. Ultimately frustrating not to be too many chances wasted up against a good side, but we were in it until the subs were made. Harsh lesson learned, so we must learn from it and take it into next season. Full focus in the league now. If we don't scrape through into the Europa, we'll be doing well to scrape through into Europa now. I think we need to beat Shakhtar here, and then possibly need to get something in Madrid as well. So very, very difficult. So it's a mountain to climb daily for to be in Europe after Christmas.
I'm not expecting anything now. I think a lot of people with the momentum, as we say in the domestic campaign, coming into the group, and especially after the way we played against Real Madrid, it was like, we play like that, we'll beat Leipzig and Shakhtar. But the wheels have fallen off, things have happened, Polk have got injured, and Celtic are struggling at the moment. But the difference is, we're talking about the mental side. We've got the mental side to go and score that goal against St Johnstone, because we know that we belong winning games at that level. We don't look like we know that we belong winning games at this level. And that's the key thing for me. I think we've got to try and work to get to a point. And I think your last tweeter there made a really good point. It's the progression. We've made progress from the team that we were in the Europa League last year. I think we've seen that, and when we were playing well at the start of the season, the Real Madrid and the Shakhtar games were really, really good, but we got 1 point, right? What we've got to do is we've got to make sure that next year, if we are at this stage again, and hopefully we are, we come in and we have progressed again. And I don't think that's just about personnel. I think that's about the development of the current crop, and maybe a couple of additions in certain areas, or players playing their way into form, or part of that sort of core. Do you know what I mean? Because there might be players in the squad that we've not fully seen at their full tilt yet. But aye, it's tonight feels like a real blow, man. I'm pure gutted, mate.
It does. I think we all are. That's it for Twitter reactions like this video. Comment with your own thoughts on tonight's game below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be back on Friday. We build up to the game against Hibs on Saturday. Cheers.